I was just like, wow, I feel so like grateful that people are like, it feels good to be recognized.
Yeah.
I laughed a little bit because I was like new, like our band is like a teenager, you know.
Right.
So, but when I watched like Pick It Up, the ska movie, I will never forget, and it sticks in my head, that the Bosstones were a band for like 10 plus years before anybody even like mainstream gave them a look. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fine, it's all good. If people think we're a new band, keep it going. We're new to you.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's I mean, that's crazy because I was watching that movie too. I was like, damn, like I guess they're right. Yeah, because like for me, you know, because Pick It Up ska in the 90s, you feel me? I was born in the 90s, so I
Right.
obviously like missed all that. So I had to look back like for all my music. Like I purposefully like looked as far as I could, you know. So all that stuff, like it's surprising to me that Bosstones didn't get big until then. Because to me, like in my head, it's like, oh shit, they're legends. Like whenever, you know, like
Yeah, they're huge. They're still huge. Like.
yeah. Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, you know, one thing I wanted to ask, like, because you were singing in on that album, and then you told me that you left the band, right? Was it
I
that?
did. I was out of the band for about 2 years. I moved to LA with a friend. Him and his family were in the music industry, so we just tried it out. We like started a couple bands, barely ever played shows, but did a bunch of like industry stuff, which was like boring. I wished I was like playing, you know, instead of just whining and dining with a bunch of people I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was boring, you know. People were laughing at me because I would go to these things and we'd be talking about music, of course, and I'd be like, I kind of miss my ska band, you know. They'd be like, get out of here. Where are you? Who are you? So yeah, I was out of the band for those 2 years, and then yeah, we sort of just picked up where we left off. It wasn't a smooth, it wasn't like easy to come back, I'll say.
Okay.
Because and I don't want to seem like totally fake. It was hard to come back. There was definitely the singer before me felt
Animosity, you would say?
wronged. She felt wronged. I was feeling wrong, but it was a huge miscommunication. We're all cool with it now.
Yeah.
Everybody's fine. But yeah, that's why I wasn't in the band for that little bit, and that's why there is some music with the other singer's name on it. And her singing. Like, it does come up where people are like, "Oh, you've been in this band so long," and I was going through your history, and there was a gap there. Like, why is that gap there? It's something that comes up all the time.
It's like when you guys kind of got like back together, the next like full length in the discography was Camp Sledgestone, right?
No, we haven't done a full length since It's About Time. We only have one full length, but then the first EP we did when we came back was Mastering Karate.
Okay.
And it has 6 songs. I'm gonna get in trouble. 5 or 6. And it was an adventure because before I didn't do a lot of writing. Like maybe I don't play an instrument. I sing. And I'm not very confident in like my musicianship. But I used to just really write lyrics and then kind of just hand them over to the guys, and they would make something out of it. And my complaint was always that it just didn't sound like me. Even though it was my words, sometimes they would like morph things around just to make it work. Or they'd rewrite something and it was just like no. So yeah, Mastering Karate was interesting because it was the first time where I was sort of like forced to do that because the people that were writing my music before weren't in the band anymore.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
That's
why that one was so important, I think.
No, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I was just about to ask you because I know that's the one with Heather on it, right?
Yes, Heather's on that one. Yes.
Yeah, and then that's like the video you guys put out like a month ago, where it was like
it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. There you go. So it's like I know that was like a new video for an old song like when you guys dropped it. I thought that was tight, and so like to hear that, I was like, okay, that makes sense because that was a pretty personal song. I thought that shit was dope, honestly, by the way.
Thanks so much. Yeah, it was the anniversary of that EP. It was like its 5-year birthday. So, and we're in quarantine. I've always wanted to have. I thought Heather was important. Like the message in Heather was like so important to me. Like, you know, sort of like adopt somebody, like take them to a show, like show them live music. You know. and you might change their life, you know, you never know. But I always like wanted it to have a video, so and nobody could tell me no in the band because nobody could see me, so I was just like, I'm gonna make this, and it worked out. I think it sort of like translated well because it matches, like the theme matches the video. I tried to make it. I didn't get to make the video I had like always imagined, but it's good. It works. It's still very 2:30. It's on brand for us.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, after that was when you guys did Camp Slushstone, right?
Yes, Camp Slushstone came like 2 years after that, and that one was just sort of kind of like a growing up because a lot of like one of the members from the past came back, David, and we, you know, started writing music together again. In my band, Max, like he's my best friend. I've known him since middle school. We've been in this band together forever. He got cancer. He's beat cancer twice now. So when we were doing Camp Slushstone, he was going through the first sort of like round of chemo and stuff. So it was a really weird time for the band. It really forced some of us to do things we weren't comfortable with because Max was like our band manager. He did everything. So yeah, that album was important because it like I was forced to write more, and we were forced to sort of think about like releases harder and stuff because we were just like we didn't know about the future. We were so uncertain.
Right.
And my sister did the artwork for the front too, so I always thought that like it's special to me because she built that whole like weird diorama just for us.
That's tight. Yeah, that's tight. Yeah, I was gonna say, on that album, it sounds like on a few of the songs, almost there's like some like pretty like direct lyrics almost. Did you write the lyrics on that whole album, or was it like?
Yeah, except for I'm trying to think. No, everything on there I wrote. I have like the Taylor Swift habit. I mean, any musician habit, but almost I would say 99% of the time I write about a person, like one person. Gotcha. So if you think a song is about you, it might be. So.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was gonna say because the lyrics, it was very like you know what I'm talking about. It sounded like you were very like it almost sounded like you were talking to somebody like the entire time. Trying to have a conversation with them, and the music like for example on It's About Time when I was touching on like, hey, guys were like kind of doing like more like the hard rock with the ska stuff. Like when you guys would go heavier, I noticed you guys were doing more like almost like pop punk stuff, kind of like easy core stuff with like the drums and stuff. I thought that was tight. Were you
like I said, it was weird because from the album to Camp Slushstone, the band had like changed so much, and so of course the writing style changed. And I would say the person that wrote like the heavier like guitar driven stuff was like no longer in the band by that point. He was still in the band when we did Mastering Karate, so maybe like there was still even some of that stuff there. But yeah, on Camp Slushstone, it I'm laughing because I'm like thinking about the songs and like what we were going through, who I wrote them about, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know exactly what the other person is talking about, you identify with it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, I remember after that album, no, I think it was after Mastering Karate actually, and on Camp Slushstone, the boys would complain about my writing being too like about like, you know, not about, I was gonna say about like relationship stuff, you know. They would give me like prompts, like that's why SoCal Summer's on there, you know, because they were like, why don't you write something that has like nothing to do with anything? I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write it about like, I mean, that song actually does, I had to think about like my personal experiences, and I did write about like some friends and stuff, like that's just how I write. But yeah, like that song, and then I try to think of like Proximity was the one that like it is like a relationship song, but it was a song that I wrote about a relationship that wasn't mine, and I didn't really know anything about it. I was just like, it's just what I thought these people were going through.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm trying, okay? I'm like trying to leave my comfort zone of writing. But it's hard because, like I said earlier, I'm just really not confident in just in that part of being a musician. Like, just tell me what to do. That's what I'm used to do. Like, do you want me to sing something? Just tell me what to sing.
I think it was the 3rd of July, right? You guys put out Something Blue, or was it out on the?
Yeah, it was July 3rd.
Yeah, July 3rd when you guys. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it's really good, man. Before I dive into the process, though, I just want to ask, like, when you were recording that, would you say, and I'll like explain this after I ask it. I just want to get
Okay.
your like general perspective. But like when you were recording this, like, would you say you kind of approached? Because I know you guys recorded it live, so it's like a different element than being able to go back and cut parts, I'm sure. But would you say you kind of approached it like a more seasoned way?
Yeah, I mean, we we had to practice a lot more. I
Mhm.
mean, not a lot more. It was just more sort of focused, right? Because yeah, like it's just it was a totally different process. We've never in our entire history of a band had everybody in the studio at one time. Like that's not how that works. It's usually one person will come in and like maybe other people will be there just because they want to be there, right? Or they're there to listen or they're there to give notes. Like we're not all there playing, you know?
Yeah.
So it was really packed. Like the studio is a good size, but that was like the first thing that really like threw me off was just that everybody was there and that we could all see and hear each other right away, you
Yeah.
know, and we could comment on each other right away. Because before, like you get a mix or something, and you're like, ew, this person's totally sticking out, and like you need to turn them down. Like no, we had to turn around to that person and be like,
Mm.
we need to turn that person down. Like it certain things like couldn't be like tracked together,
Right.
but like the horns all were together, and you know it was really interesting and so fun. And I think that like we did achieve what we wanted, which was just we've never made an album like that before, that style, that more traditional style, and we kind of just wanted to see if we could do it because we listen to like what's going on out there, and we do see a lot of bands playing with a more like traditional ska sound and like maybe mixing it with like other things or newer sounds.
Mm.
So we just wanted to see, like, not see if we could do it. We just wanted to prove to ourselves that we could, because Lionize was not a new song. It's an
Right.
old song off of It's About Time, and it's always been one of our most popular songs. We can play it at any kind of ska show, and people like the song. So we were like, let's do it over again, because there were so many things about the first version that we didn't love. Other people wouldn't notice, but we do, you know.
Right.
And that's kind of where it grew. It like the kernel was like Lionize, and
Right.
then See You Again, the like the new song on the track.
Mhm.
Um,
Which is my favorite, by the way.
one of our guitar players just like he doesn't usually write music. He brought it to the band and was like, I wrote this song and I don't really know what it's gonna sound like with all of us, but and that's what it turned into. Some people think it's like our best song.
I like that song.
And he brought it to the band. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, like, because my question kind of stems. Maybe I can kind of like describe like what I'm trying to say, but it kind of stems like, for example, on the verse on "See You Again," like kind of like the way you come in is kind of like percussive. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to ask you, like, where I'm going with that is like what that type of stuff shows, like when you phrase things in like your own way, it shows like personality. You know what I'm saying? Like as like a musician, you feel me? And I think like a lot of the times, like singers or instrumentalists alike, they always have like that point wherever on their journey where they're like, I've just been doing like versions of stuff and like things that I liked, and now I actually found like my own niche. You know what I'm saying? When was like your moment? When?
I've like been when you're a singer, um, I don't want to say especially, but especially if you're a female singer, I feel like you're always kind of like comparing your voice is like being compared to other artists. So I really struggled with that for a long time because people would say, well, who do you think you sound like? And I'm like, geez, I don't know. Because my voice is very like clean, you know, and that's like one of the things I never liked about my voice was that it was just very clean. Like when I step into the booth at like the studio, it's a joke. Like they'll have me record something 3 times and tell me to step out of the box, and like I'm done. Like I don't get to go back in. I'm finished because all of my takes sound exactly the same every time. Like because I don't that I just that's how my voice is.
Yeah,
So it's always driven me crazy. So I think I'm still not there. Maybe at a certain point I just stopped caring so much about, you know,